Rebels resist all expectations, both inner and outer. Rebels are less likely to do something once they know that someone expects it of them, but they also might struggle with expectations that they set for themselves. Han Solo is the example that I have that is our rebel. He's a mercenary in the Star Wars movies who is an incredibly important part of the rebellion, but he always does everything his own way. He's like a rebel within the rebels, and sometimes it gets him into trouble, but Han Solo, like all rebels, are really authentically themselves.
Everything's under control. Situation normal.
What happened?
Had a slight weapons malfunction, but everything's perfectly all right now. We're fine. We're all fine here now. Thank you. How are you?
We're sending a squad up.
Negative. We have a reactor leak here now. Give us a few minutes to lock it down. Large leak, very dangerous.
Who is this? What's your operating number?
Boring conversation anyway.
Han Solo always responds in an authentic way. He has creative ways of going about problem solving, and he's a little bit different from everyone else on the team. And he likes it that way. And that's what rebels are like too. They are motivated by their freedom to choose what they need to do at all times. They will not impose expectations on themselves because they like that freedom. And likely they want to do the opposite of whatever someone asks of them. But rebels think outside of the box. Just as part of who they are, they think differently than other people, and they like disruption, which makes them amazing for teams. They should always be valued for their ability to come up with different solutions to the same problems. Rebels also put a really important value in their life on being genuine and being true to themselves. For rebels, the strategy of identity is one of the most important strategies. Whether you are trying to establish a habit or you're struggling to meet an outer expectation, it's important to think about how those strategies play into your identity. Because being true to yourself is usually very important for rebels. If you value that you are a good coworker and a good person to be around, completing tasks that are required of you in a work situation, that's going to help you to meet some of those expectations. The number one strategy recommended for rebels by Gretchen Rubin is the strategy of identity. And this is one that can be used by anyone and is actually a really good thing to think about if you're struggling with changing a particular habit. The strategy of identity is simply just looking at how your identity is impacted or reflected by the change that you're looking to make. So, a rebel who's interested in doing more exercise might consider identities that they hold important. Maybe an identity that you consider yourself having is as someone who is healthy, and getting more exercise might really fit into your healthy identity. Another thing that could be at play is you could be a rebel who is trying to get more healthy. You also have the identity of a person who saves money, like we talked about in a previous slide. If your way of exercising more is to join a gym, that might conflict with your identity of somebody who wants to save money. That might mean that you could buy some running shoes and start running outside. Or it might just mean you have to grapple with your own identity and really reflect on that. You might still be somebody who values frugality, but in this instance, you might value your health or being active more. Often, for all personality types, that conflict of identities can cause us to not take action in our plan of habit change until after we've taken a real good look at that and solved that for ourselves, figured out what it is that's most important for us. But for rebels, it's most critical to pay attention to this strategy because it could impact any part of your daily life.